Hey guys, Coach Tregs here, the founder of 30 Plus Men's Fitness. Hope everyone is doing well. So in today's video, I want to talk about a question that I get asked a lot. I've answered a number of times, but I just want to talk about it again because it's just such a popular question I get. And that question is, can I lose weight whilst drinking alcohol? You see, there are many people out there that seem to think that in order to be able to lose weight, you have to cut out all of your favorite food groups, like a little bit of chocolate, some bread, pizza, and also alcohol falls into that category. But I want to break it down for you in the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes in a very sort of black and white kind of application for you. I've got a non-alcoholic Peroni tonight. I actually really enjoy these. These have got calories, and we're going to talk about calories and alcohol because if you want to lose weight, you need to understand that you need to burn more calories through your movement, day-to-day movement, and any exercise, and through your basal metabolic rate, which is the calories you burn just being you based on your own height, age, weight, and sex. You need to burn more through that than you take in through food and drink. And when we talk about drink, we can talk about alcohol. Okay. Now, many clients that I've worked with and continue to work with like alcohol. I like alcohol. I like a beer. I've worked with many big drinkers over my time. And a lot of these clients have said to me, Tregs, I've got a busy social life. I work in the city. I enjoy going out and partying on the weekend. That's not going to change. Can you help me? And my response is always, yes, I can help you. I can help you lose weight with alcohol whilst drinking alcohol, because you can lose weight whilst drinking alcohol. Now, people might say, well, that's not healthy. That's not optimal. As I always say, I'm working with men over the age of 30, 40 and 50. And, I'm not working with college athletes, all said with love. I'm working with guys over the age of 30, 40 and 50. And these guys have a life. And they don't need to be going around at optimal. They want to have a life. They want to have a drink. So let's get into it, okay? Well, can you lose weight whilst drinking alcohol? Yes, the answer is yes, because alcohol contains calories. And we know that if we can factor in those calories and burn more calories than we take in, that we're going to end up in a calorie deficit, okay? Now, unlike your food groups or unlike food, like alcohol isn't really going to give you too much nutritional value. It's not really going to give you any nutritional value. So, you're going to eat, you might have some food which isn't that nutritious, but it's still going to give you some carbs and protein. With alcohol, you're not really going to get any protein or healthy fats in alcohol, okay? So understand that you're drinking calories, you're drinking liquid calories, which can vary. And look, I remember when I first started to use MyFitnessPal to track my calories, and I was like, I'm going to give this flexible dieting a go, because I was failing at trying to eat clean all the time. I was really failing at that. And so I was like, okay, right, let me have a look at like alcohol and the calories in alcohol. And couldn't believe it. Like, one of my favorite drinks, a pint of Guinness, was only 210 calories. I was like, wow, that's incredible. Like, I thought there was way more calories in that. And then I looked at kind of like your average bottle of beer. I think a Corona is about 138 calories. Most pints of lager are about 200 to 250 calories, right? But go away and go onto Google, go onto MyFitnessPal, which is the calorie tracking app, and just check it out, and you'll see for yourself, all right? So I was like, oh, okay, right. So if I'm burning 2,500 calories a day, and maybe I've eaten, 1,600 calories of healthy food, I could have a couple of pints of Guinness and still be in a calorie deficit. And that would in turn help me to lose weight. Well, technically, yes. But what can happen when you drink alcohol is you can retain some water. okay? Because alcohol is largely carbohydrate, and for every gram of carbohydrate you ingest, you store 3 grams of water. So here's an example. I got back from Lanzarote earlier in the week. I've done more activity in Lanzarote than I do back home, and that's saying a lot because I'm a personal trainer and I train most days. We were super active, so my Strava didn't know what hit it. My Garmin didn't know what hit it. My Garmin was telling me to slow down. I did a lot of movement, steps, training, etc., etc. But my diet when I was away was quite carby. I didn't take my protein smoothies. The chef was giving us plenty of high carbohydrate food to fuel our activity. And, excuse me, I was having some alcohol, okay? And what happened, and I wouldn't have weighed when I got home, was I would have been retaining some water. No doubt I would have been retaining some water. But I've been back a couple of days now. I've gone back to a higher protein diet with lots of vegetables, and I can already feel kind of that bloat is gone. But you have to be aware that if you are drinking alcohol, there can be some water retention. However, you could, and I'm not saying this is optimal, you could fit alcohol into your diet and still lose weight. And I've helped many, many people do this. Is it optimal? No. But whilst it's important to know that all alcohol has calories, is not that nutritious, but you can fit it in. Here's the problem with alcohol. Most people, when you're trying to diet, right, you have to have a level of discipline. You're going to need a level of discipline to execute your systems and habits to take you to your desired result, right? So the problem is when you drink alcohol, your willpower, your defenses kind of come down. I know, I always say this, when I have a drink, the fat man is coming out, okay? The lads are actually joking on the retreat. Like, I'm the head coach, I'm a PT, but on the one night I had quite a big drink, I put some food away because I just have no willpower. The fat man comes out. On days that I wasn't drinking, it's absolutely fine. So it's all very well and good saying, yeah, I can fit a couple of pints into my diet, but it's understanding that what happens if you have 2 or 3 pints? Because I know, somebody once said to me, why do you drink the non-alcoholic beers? Like, what's the point? You may as well have the real one. Well, the point is this here is probably about 70 calories, okay? It's really, really nice after a long day coaching. I could have a couple of these. I've only had one, but I could have a couple of these and not end up in the crisps and in the cheese. I have a couple of alcoholic ones, and then all of a sudden I'm going, nah, sod it. And I'm in the crisp and I'm in the cheese. So you might say you have you might have like a couple of bottles of beer and it works out at like 550 calories. But it's then, you're a little bit half cut, and then you're like, oh, sod it. And then, so you end up doubling your calories by eating more food simply because your willpower has come down. Does that make sense? But the bottom line is this. You can factor alcohol into your diet. I was working with a couple of female clients before Christmas in 2022, and they all said, we love our wine, Tregs. We love our wine. And, we like to enjoy it. How are we going to do this? And I'm like, I'm going to show you a way. We're going to track calories in and out. We're going to use MyFitnessPal. And if you have a bottle of wine or if you have some cocktails, you're going to find them on MyFitnessPal. And you're going to type that into, your calories for the day. And what we're going to do is we're either going to work a way to fit them in for the day or to make sure that the next day, even if we're a little bit hungover, we can pull it back with more movement, more steps, more training, maybe some strategic intermittent fasting. Because remember that weight loss is a calorie game. Okay, it's in versus out. That's thermodynamics. It's in versus out. So, these girls, they all lost over a stone with me. And they had some big weekends. But what we made sure we did is we cycled the calories, we borrowed the calories, we made sure there was plenty of movement either side of the boozy nights out. And one more thing before I go, right? Again, because we've already said, like, alcohol's calories. Just like you could say, like a little bit of junk food, is if you can make it fit your calories, isn't going to hurt you. But it's like if you say to somebody you can have a Cadbury's cream egg or you can have a bar of chocolate, they have that taste and then all the defenses come down. It's like, oh my God, because it's like, oh, I've had something maybe I shouldn't have, and then they can't stop. So it very much comes down to your relationship with food, or in this case, your relationship with alcohol, right? So again, it's all down to the individual. But understand this: most people will go out and say, have a big drink, all right? They'll have a big drink on a Saturday night, for example. Then on a Sunday, they'll be hungover, they'll be tired, they'll be dehydrated, they won't hit their steps, they won't train, and they'll overconsume. And understand that the damage is done the following day. It's quite often you can't do too much damage in one day. It's the following day. It's the reaction to thinking, oh, I've blown it. And so when alcohol comes into play, you have to understand is not only does it lower your defenses and lowers your willpower at the point of drinking it, but depending on how much you drink, the next day can be a write-off as well. The next day can be a complete write-off because you're hungover and you've got no desire to execute those habits that you like to execute, you know, when you're feeling good and when you're feeling sober. So to conclude this video, yes, you can drink alcohol and lose weight as long as you're in a calorie deficit. Is it optimal for health? Probably not. But then we talk a lot about balance on this page. And, you know, like I said to you, I work with guys over the age of 30, 40 and 50 who like to relax with a beer, like to relax with a glass of wine. And who am I to say, no, you can't do that, you know, to a 50-year-old man? You know, I'm not working with college athletes. I've lost weight whilst drinking alcohol. I've also lost weight whilst not drinking alcohol. I find I get leaner not drinking alcohol only because when I drink alcohol, it leads to my poor nutritional choices because my willpower is lower. Okay, guys? But yes, you can drink alcohol and you can lose weight. You will find all the calories in all your favorite drinks in a good tracking app such as MyFitnessPal. Let me know if this helps. Don't forget to leave a comment and I'll catch you soon.